Yeah, maybe I think they got stuck with the early gyrocopter pick. I think there was a little bit more history to this matchup as well. I think maybe these two teams played against.
Remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Stronger teams.
Radiant team pick.
Necessarily guaranteed that they haven't played, but anywho, we are going to see the Bane banned out, but this time around it's Penta actually getting rid of it. 5 anchors, just going to get rid of a bunch of, let's say, offlane heroes. Lots of pretty premium supports making it through, but like we've also been saying, a decent chunk of those supports have been nerfed in the most recent patch, so maybe not as popular. Did ET get changed at all? Don't think so, right? Off the top of my head.
10 seconds remaining.
But Sand King picked up.
5 seconds remaining.
Do you like Sand King more as a 3 or a 4 at the moment? I feel like a lot of the other heroes that used to kind of have the like offlane /4 mix-up have very clearly become one or the other recently. Like I feel like Slardar has been much more often the 4 than the 3, and like Clockwork has kind of been in that same boat. Though I guess that, as I've said that, you know, the games that we've cast today have had a 3 Slardar and a 3 Clockwork. But what are your expectations for this Sand King? Or what do you like? Mm-hmm.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Alright, Witch Doctor picked up, fairly strong support. There's a handful of teams out there that actually like Witch Doctor a lot. I think even Secret is probably one that comes to mind. Used to pick a lot of Witch Doctor. He's a pretty good lane bully. You know, he's always had fairly high base damage, decent stats, decent stat growth. And 5 anchors, no captain. Also going to follow that up with a Night Stalker. All right, I like this. It's a little bit more. This isn't necessarily as strong in the bullying department as their previous support duo was, but I feel like this is a lot more dynamic, right? They've got a lot more opportunities to do stuff in fights, and I think they have a lot more potential to rotate and set up kills and do that kind of thing. But no, Penta just gonna say, okay, Sand King's a 4. We're gonna get this Tidehunter as our 3, and how are you gonna deal with him? Which
very strong opening, like really tough to deal with heroes. Tidehunter, there's not a lot of good answers. Although with that said, though, you could just pick up a good Shadowblade core and break him down. We've seen Shadowblade, so anything is possible, I guess.
Yeah, I think there's other options as well. I mean, you know, a lot of the other popular, I would say, lane counters to Tide have not been so popular in general recently. Like, you know, your Ursas and your Monkey Kings. I would even maybe throw OD out there. I know that that's a hero that Tide really does not like playing against, especially in lane. But I do like this Tidehunter a lot with the Sand King, kind of like you were getting at. I think the Tide is one of the best like heroes to just frontline and provide vision, and when you've got a hero like Sand King who doesn't necessarily always want to be the primary initiator, he really wants to get an idea for like the lay of the land and, you know, where everybody is in the fight, and then be able to go in, get his first burst strike off, reset, you know, continue to play the fight from that point. And I think the two of them play together really nicely. I don't know if there's any way for 5 anchors to get teamfight superiority from this position, right? Like, you've got Witch Doctor and Night Stalker. I feel like you're kind of locked into just playing maybe a more split push, single target.
Yeah, you have to, if you're winning team fights, it's gotta be through like some next level finesse where you take basically 2 team fights at different parts of the map, and the more important one where the Tidehunter isn't at. But that's just like, you know, some...
Yeah, or abuse your vision game really hard, right? Like Night Stalker finds the Sand King and burns him, so he just can't do anything. That kind of thing. I mean, 5 Anchors do seem to be scratching their heads a little bit here. They're digging into their reserve time. They have to show a core of some description, so I guess it remains to be seen what that's going to be. Do you think they consider picking their arc warden at all? I don't like this that much. To me, a lot of the time, Jug, like in the past and even now, it's like it's just something that teams go to when they don't know exactly what they want.
It's like a filler carry pick.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, he's good enough. Everybody knows how to play him. He's never totally awful. I mean, there are some bad matchups, of course. I'm talking about Ursa against the Tide, but I think Ursa is another hero that gives Jug a very, very hard time. But yeah, this to me doesn't scream of any particular game plan.
That might be a strength in itself, though, because I feel like some of the things that Juggernaut does do well is that he supplements, let's say, a group up pushing strategy. So if 5 Anchor, let's say, go 4th pick pusher, 5 pick pusher, your healing ward has a lot of value in that. And you're not really showing too much simply because that he is such a, like you mentioned, kind of a blanket pick. And he does have a tiny bit of lane versatility. It's not 100% always safe lane. You sometimes see him mid, but definitely not a option number 1 there. But I do agree with you. It's simply like just as it stands, I think Jugger is going to have a little bit of issue against Anchor Smash. With that said, though, you do have a little bit of kill potential onto the Tidehunter, like maybe around level 3. So I'm not gonna write it off completely as a bad pick, but it's definitely not something I'm really getting behind on.
This is interesting. Okay, so I mean, Batrider plays nicely enough with the Night Stalker. Does kind of fit into that like sort of more pick-off oriented vein that we were talking about. I was just about to ask that if you feel like 5 Anchors feel like they're the worst team, do you think they considered just, if they were going to consider like maybe just doing a Pugna draft here, like some sort of that, just something cheesy, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that might have worked a couple of years, okay, where even pro teams fall to cheesy strats. I think nowadays teams are just so good at identifying what is the cheese, what is the timing of that cheese, how to attack that cheese. Yeah, it's working less and less. And so to going back to what you said, where I feel like 5 Anchor is just completely conceding in team fights, because in a team fight scenario, Tidehunter is the straight up counter to Batrider. You just, as a Tide player, you love to see your carry getting grabbed, and you just blink in Ravage and just start the team fight in a very good spot. Now 5 Anchor is saying,
look past the Batrider.
Exactly. Now 5 Anchor saying we're not going to try to win the team fights. We're going to just pick off the map. And I think Lycan might be one of the best carries for that, because first of all, he's very hard to kill. Second of all, Night Stalker is going to have a lot of knights, so How is going to be relatively good at making everyone tanky. And last but not least, your wolves. If you micro it well enough, you are getting so much information, and vision is king against Night Stalker. So.
And they've got a bunch of summons against the Omni Slash potentially as well, so gonna make it a not so value. I think it's actually not such an easy matchup for the Jug to play against the Lycan. I like that as well.
Radiant team back.
So OD is the ban. 5 Anchors just need their mid. Pops and Arc Warden is gonna get banned out. Only a strength of his, and if you're trying to play this like split up the map style, I think a hero that's certainly decent at doing that.
I want to reiterate something I mentioned yesterday, the combination of Lycan and Shaman. It's really nice for taking down Roshan multiple times, and getting that refresher shard late game is a guarantee win almost always.
Yeah, well, especially they got the Tide as well this game, so even if they still have to take some fights, you just put the refresher shard on that Tidehunter and...
You may now select your heroes.
is weird.
Oh, this is kind of what I'm mentioning earlier, right? Like, you group up and push. This is where Healing Ward's really good. At the same time, though, Penta Esport has 2 heroes that could easily deal with the Healing Wards. The Wolves from Oliver, and of course Weaver could just, like, you know, be very good in a fight. And we've been mentioning a good counter pick to the Batrider is the Weaver. Very good in terms of surviving against the Weaver in the mid game, but also very good at laning against him. Not gonna lie, if the lanes go normally as expected, I feel like Penta Esport has the very good matchups. The only kind of big question is who's going mid versus DP. I think Arc has to, but that means that the Oliver is going to have a very tough lane against Strixie. Like, they basically have to pick their poison. Somebody on the 5 anger side is going to have a very decent lane matchup.
Which is, I mean, that bodes well, certainly. I feel like the Death Prophet is going to have a very good start this game. Just because, one, they don't really have a saving support, which I feel like a lot of the time is a requirement for the Death Prophet. There's plenty of heroes that can just be up in her face, right?
Sure.
The Weaver can run in, get up in her face. The Lycan's going to do the same. You're going to Blink Burrow from the Sand King later on. And I don't know. I think Death Prophet is a hero as well. Has kind of a timer. I feel there's so many games where Death Prophet seems to be, even where she does really well on the laning stage and she's snowballing from there, and then you take all of the outer towers and then you botch a tier 3 push,
You lose.
and Death Prophet's game is just over at that point, because your damage only really scales with your ultimate. You get more levels in your ult and you get stronger, but there isn't really any way for you to itemize to really do more damage and really go.
Oh, it gets to level 25. Get to level 25, you get more ghosts. Or ace.
Yeah, I guess. It's like
I'm agreeing with you mostly. I'm just being dick about it.
Yeah.
I do think that Death Prophet is different from how, these days it's a mid core that carries and then the safe lane core that creates space, right?
Yeah.
I feel like DP is more of a relic of the past, where she is not exactly the hardest carry in the game, but she can carry pretty hard. And in the context of this game, I think that does mean that Juggernaut also needs to pick up the slacks. Like, he can't, for example, go Shadowblade Deso, for example. He also needs to go relatively decent carry-ish item. Like, they both need to scale for them to have a shot in this game. And I think one saving grace...
So sorry.
yeah, I'm reading it too. One other saving grace is that 5 Anchor, or rather Penta Esport, doesn't really have a good Urn buyer. So, or not an Urn buyer, a Vessel buyer. Vessel would be really nice against Healing Ward, Voodoo Restoration, but I don't think anybody on the side could afford to pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, even against the Spirit Siphon as well. Right?
Yeah.
I think it probably works like that. Oh, we have a interesting smoke from Penta. Check this out.
Yeah. They grouped up us 5 mid behind the tier 1 to do it.
30 seconds to battle.
They see us.
Are they just in 5 Anchors' heads? Do they just know what their early positioning tends to be? Look at this. They're gonna pop
they want
out.
Pexu.
They're gonna pop
Pexu's
out and
dead.
just pop Pexu.
Oh, Blue showed himself. Now Sanking showed himself. Alright.
Still, is this gonna be 3 runes? Arc is taking some stacks, but he doesn't want to use the Shikuchi early. Alright, Shikuchi over. Pick it up. Keep on scooting. Oh,
3
4
runes.
stacks. Still needs
He's
5
fine.
seconds. Yeah, he's okay. Just fog him. Don't take too much damage. That auto attack's gonna hurt.
Oh. Alright. But the wave's gonna get
Keep
pulled.
running. Keep running. Keep running.
Oh god.
Don't get stacked. Don't
See
get.
him.
No, Arc. Why?
I don't know about this Arc. Oh, he's trying to tank it, but Burrow Strike, it's gonna come through with the creep wave support. That might be enough to
no,
bait
that comes in though.
the master baiter Arc.
He's got the mango region. Value. Oh man, that
Radiant's
was.
bottom tower
And they even
is
ping
under
out that this is a
attack.
ward because the Batrider just napalmed him.
That's
Oh,
true.
did you see what Ty did?
No, I didn't catch it.
Look at this creep wave over here. He walked here.
Oh, he did. He did the fada. Yeah. You drag it all the way back and then just double wave it yourself. I don't know if there's a counterplay to this, really.
Cancel that TP, and he's stuck there.
Yeah, I guess. But he's got boots. Like he's running away from you. There's no way that you're fast enough to catch up.
Can you maybe
give him
like
the backstroke?
pull the wave and triple wave him? Maybe that's a counter.
Just take the tower.
Yeah, take the tower. I'm not even kidding, dude.
There's
triple wave him.
There's like no pull. I mean,
like what the hell is that TIE Hunter gonna do? Like, you know, under his building, protecting it.
He's gonna drag it past the tier 1 and then just drag it back to his wave, which he then kills with your wave. And then what? Then you're sad because you've got no experience.
And quad.
Yeah, here we go. 3 range creeps. Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's take his building. Let's put down that healing ward. The healing creeps. Oh god, Boogie. Oh, he could die here if they validate and body block. Oh boy, Boogie. Yeah, he's dead.
Oh.
You know what the worst part of all of this is that he stacked the wave and he's not gonna get any experience from it.
Yeah, because he used the TP to come back over.
Yep. Like his lane is actually just done.
It's back up. It's back off cooldown.
I mean, but like
he's gonna get a bit. He's gonna get a decent amount.
But look at his tower. Actually, it's not that bad.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. It's a lot better than I would have expected.
Yeah. All right. What else is going on here? So, in the end, they do just kind of sack the Lycan against the
Iron Man. Finds Pexu. Oh, the shackle kill. Omewa Lucian.
Not quite. He's healing up. Got that Tango regen.
Have you gotten the chance to play with the shackle bonus at level 20?
The perma disable.
Yeah, with like arcane rune or something.
No, I have. It seems like fun though. I've seen seen the one clip of I think the Nature's Prophet like up here somewhere, and he just gets caught and then just basically shackled to death. Like the shackle damage actually is just what kills him. Poor guy. This Lycan is actually doing surprisingly well mid on CS. Gotta give Oliver some props. He's doing all the aggro tricks. Actually pretty hardy hero really when it comes down to it with the Feral Impulse. So
yep. I mean he's got 7 HP regen per second right now, so no big deal. I'm sure like RMM has been sitting there zapping away as well, so.
Yep. DNZ, is he actually in fog? Yep, he just is just around this corner. They haven't seen, well, they hadn't seen him just yet. It's backing off now. Trixie forced to pop a salve. Oh, and salve gets canceled by Arc. That is.
Ooh. Sand King's gonna swing around. That could be a kill. Swarm's gonna be there. Max range burrow. Ooh, the Firefly. And the Howl.
Man, Shadow Shaman with Howl. Hit him. And how long until we see the red numbers pop up just because he's doing more than 10% of their health in one hit? It's not even a crit. Oh, Oliver, maybe a little bit of an overextension here, but there is a shackle, potential for a turnaround. Thompson diving in pretty deep, but now the Burst Strike coming in. Oliver's still alive, he's healing up. This might be multiple kills in favor of Penta.
Oh wow, that's so worth,
just
dude.
Grab it. But yeah, that's
I thought it was a little suspect that RMM grabbed the Night Stalker. I think if he grabbed the DP, it would have been a guaranteed survival. But at the same time, they probably wouldn't have gotten 2 kills.
But the support just got sick levels from that, right?
They did, yeah.
Sand King is like immediately level 3.5. The Shadow Shaman almost level 4 as well. And we've seen what these guys can do with a decent start. Arc just standing in the fire. Manning up on Trixie. Can he finish off this kill? Not quite. Does need to be a little bit careful. Gonna switch over to the strength treads. Ticking it out. Arc.
Get out of there, but he's on the fire again. Oh my god, the Batman flying over. Can he get the vision? Needs to juke. He's dead. Oh wait.
He's good.
He's good.
He's
oh
good.
My god.
He's
so
good.
Close.
Because now he's going all the way back to base.
Oh, if that.
Oh no, he's going Shrine.
If that flame break was like sniping. Anyways, I was gonna say that I think I haven't seen any other support duo other than Penta Esport use their TP score early on so well. Like they're just so efficient with it. They get 1 kill and they're immediately off to seeking the second. We've seen it last game, we're seeing it here again. DNZ on Sand King in particular this game has been doing just that.
Yeah, and it's not like they've. I guess the other thing is that because they're being so successful, they don't really have to hold their TPs up, like counter aggression from the other side. I haven't really been watching the cores in terms of how they've been playing, but it feels like Penta just haven't really been giving away very many kills. Looks like RMN also just fine. There you go. Another great TP usage. Not a very successful game for 5 anchors. They are so deep here behind this tier 1 tower. with a 3-man rotation, but it just basically does nothing.
Yep. Normally, like, you're like, oh, Bat Rider's off the lane, the Weaver gets to farm. But regardless whether the Bat Rider's on the lane or not, the Weaver's gonna get to farm, so it's not the worst move that Trixie just did.
Boogie. Not really getting scouted. No, I guess maybe getting scouted a little bit by this Dire Observer Ward that was off to the side. They have blocked his medium camp over here. We're looking for this kill. I guess they just reading the Night Stalker, right? They know that it's nighttime, that he's eager to make things happen and continue to pressure the lanes, and they've just decided, okay, we'll play it safe. Oh, as I say that, Trixie might just be dead here. Jumping in, TP response. Is it going to be enough? Nice flame break back. Arc, another Shukuchi in 2 seconds time, but does get stunned up. We'll be able to time lapse it off. Keep on running his way out of there. Waiting in the fog, but is it going to be enough to keep him alive? 1 more second. Another Shukuchi through. Looks like he's okay. Actually going to go over and grab his bottle immediately from the secret shop.
So check this Tide Hunter out. Base boot Tide. I don't think I've seen this before, but watching a lot of the Summit players in the room, one thing that they kind of all universally agree is that Tide Gush is like pretty OP, especially at level 1. It's very low mana cost, and you could actually get off a ton of right clicks. And a lot of First Blood actually was set up by Tide Gush. So I do wonder if there's some sort of, I don't want to say a DPS Tide, but more of like a do stuff Tide instead of just AFK jungle farm. But this is actually the first I've ever seen a Tide phase, because he just needs Arcane so badly.
Yeah, I like this as a like escape the jug item as well. He's trying to phase boot on you to get more spin damage, and you just phase boot yourself, and away you go. But yeah, the synergy with Gush definitely seems really good. I wonder if he considers going for a like a Solar Crest build up somewhere in here as well. Could be good.
Looks like he's just getting the basics. Wand.
Is that a Dominator?
Ring.
No, he's just gonna get
Mech. It looks like a Dominator to me.
Yeah, right click Tide. Boogie taking big damage here though. Space Boot's not really helping him out enough, but he gets the Ravage off, and looks like Nempty will be brought down by the Arc rotation. Off on the other side, Pexu and OKC both running for the hills. DNZ on the chase. Arc hasted, in fact. Pexu going to try for the TP out, and there's not quite enough damage. They're going to catch OKC in the river, but in fact, it is the Death Prophet going down underneath the tier 1 tower over at mid lane. Now OKC are just in no man's land, trying to get to the Roshan, but Oliver chunks him down. Nice body blocks from DNZ. What on earth happened to the Death Prophet? Just got shackled and then chomped.
I guess so. Yeah. Shackled on the tower.
Tried to kill the Shadow Shaman, and then just got turned around on.
Omni Slash on the bottom side. Boogie just walks away from it, tanks it off, but looks like he will just die to the spin. Oh, despite the phase boots.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
He's just getting chased. He just switched from top lane to try and come and grab some farm and catch up a little bit.
The thing about Tide Hunter is that I think he can have a pretty bad start and still have a very good impact in the game, because all you need is Blink. Whereas I don't think I could say the same for Death Prophet. Like, the fact that she's 1 and 2 right now and honestly haven't dominated the lane against Lycan is a big concern. Also with DP, one of the advantages you get is you force the enemy mid away from the lane and you take their tier 1. That tier 1's pristine right now.
Our man should be dead here on the mid lane. Where is he going? Just running up towards the enemy base by a few more seconds on those creeps. But Nemphy picks up that tier 1 tower down bottom. Just going to be going for a Manta style early on here on the jug. Kind of an old school, well, like just a stable build. Again, talk about jug as a hero. Just kind of okay, so he can do. Oh yeah, he's super caught out here, and the immediate time lapse away from Arc. Not risking anything. Still has this Arcane Rune. Gonna give Nemphy a few plinks for good measure.
Tide is leveling up Gush. This has got to be the first time I've seen it. The level 1 in Kraken Shell, and if you look at it on paper, hold I thought Oliver is ulting in the trees.
Thompson, did he manage to get the ultimate off? He did, but I don't know if it's really going to do anything. They've also got the heals coming in. He's still surviving. Oliver chunking through him. Boogie, Ravage off. Cool, On seconds time, there's 4 heroes here waiting. Can they actually get enough damage onto the Jug? He doesn't have the Omni Slash. Now he's getting Burrow struck up as well. One more touch will do it. Double kill for Oliver. It's a big dive. Can they find any kills? Trixie wants the kill on the DNZ, but he's got no mana left. Burrow strike in 1 second. He does just get auto attack down. They will end up losing both supports, but that is the position 1 and position 2 taken out by Penta Esports with that mid dive. Great wraparound.
I just love the way that they use the Shaman Wards. After watching Fly play Shadow Shaman about like 6 games, he always makes his smoke play, right? You have the level and wards. He will smoke around the mid tier 1 if it's Radiant or Dire, and then Radiant the same way. You smoke behind and you drop the ward behind the tier 1, and all of a sudden, like, it makes it really hard for the enemies to TP in and assist that fight, because the wards are such, like, you know, a good zoning tool if you're on the other side of it. And that's exactly what happened in that team fight. They combined it with the Ravage that came delayed, and combined it with that Lycan ult, and not only did they get the objective, but they also get a bunch of kills. It's just like a very efficient usage of the Serpent Wards. Whereas normally you just like plop it in front of the tower, you give a bunch of time for your opponents to TP in and defend.
Nope. Alright, man. Nice split off with the illusions. Looks like that might actually save his life here. Good little bit of micro. Sends the illusions over towards the Jug, who will gladly clean them up. He does have his Yasha picked up now as well. The other really nice thing about that rotation from Penta is that the Omni Slashes use bottom, right? A lot of the threat that the Jug was bringing to the table had already been negated. And unfortunately now the Exorcism is also down on cooldown for a little bit. So 5 Anchors trying to make a move here, but I guess they're trying to exploit the fact that the Ravage is down. They're going to jump in with their Blink on the Baronet. Nice bouncing on the Paralyzing Cask as well. Sanking going to go through with the Burrow Strike. Canceling that out. Looks like that will save the Tide. Won't be able to save his own life, as he will be brought down. But up top, Mass Serpent Ward's going to work once again. And looks like this could actually be a tier 2 taken out.
Radiant structures are fortified.
That tier 2
maybe a little bit too
might
high.
survive. Yeah, they're actually, the wards are not being microed onto the...
Oh. Lycan TPing in over the trees. Does have his ultimate available. Gonna pop it now. Oh, couldn't quite get the shackles off Pexu. Run. With the Paralyzing Cast. Thompson, however, out in the middle of nowhere. Gonna pop the Exorcism again. He really wants to try and turn this around, but Oliver will just be able to disengage. Oh, that is not a good feeling Exorcism.
That's a zoning Exorcism.
Yeah.
Get away from me. I think for Penta, you heal up, you shrine up, and you go Roche, right? There is literally no way 5 Anchors can make a counterplay. You have Ravage, they don't have the Exorcism.
Yep. Yeah, sounds like a...
And you even have a level 2 Gush. Look at that.
Yeah, you got Gush, you got the Swarm, you got Howl. I think it's pretty reasonable that they could go for it. Yeah, Weaver hitting a really big timing now as well. He's got his point in the Mana Break talent. He's got the Geminate attack maxed out. He's got his Diffusal Blade. He is actually just going to shred. I think he can even just like go and hit this Jug a little bit if he sees him. Meanwhile, they are looking for DNZ up top. Looks like they will be able to find him. Slowing down the Sand King Blink. Definitely going to be a nice thing to do for them. That's good. Also, maybe gives them some time to get their Exorcism back up, so they can take an upcoming fight. This Dominator is interesting on the Tide. I think he's mostly just buying it for like the HP regen and the aura, right? Like
they changed the item a little bit as well. They basically allowed the team aura to be stronger. They made it stronger for the team. So is that better than a hood or a mech? I don't know.
I guess if you don't buy the mech, maybe you can get away with not buying arcanes, and then you get to exploit the phase boots a little bit, I guess.
Look at him, he's already got a creep trying to push up top, except it's getting casket. Oh my god, he just dies.
Just stunned forever.
Just stunned forever, yeah. Witch Doctor's like, thanks for the experience, bro.
couldn't get the last hit, unfortunately. But yeah. Is there like a particularly good creep this game, do you think? Do you get maybe like the armor creep? Get an Ice Ogre?
Depends on what you're doing. I think if you're split pushing the Heartbeat, this one is like the best one ever. If you're going for Roche, I mean Alpha Wolf, but I don't know. If you want to be super next level, you can get the Tiny Satyr and Purge of Silence or something.
Then you don't need Kraken Shell.
You can purge off your teammates, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a nice thing.
Radiant's middle tower is under
All right.
attack.
Well, tier 1 tower does get taken at mid with no exorcism committed. They do definitely need that ability for the actual fights. Arc, Invis, and Arcane. Yeah, he sees Peksu, and you're not going to see Peksu very soon because he's about to get brought down. However, almost a little bit of a turnaround. Oliver going to come running in here with his ultimate activated. Nempi trying for the TP out, and looks like he will be successful. DNZ, however, catches out onto Trixie, and Trixie just gets completely obliterated as Weaver swarms in there. You gonna go for the Roche? Roche? Yeah, easy peasy. Ravage is up. And gonna commit the... I guess this is a safety thing, right? Just like...
I think it's a waste. With Gush, which Boogie is not using, they could have taken it very easily.
Stalker coming over. Maybe biting off a little bit more than you could chew. OKC a dead. Healing Ward doing its best, but... Yeah, Nemfi's still on the run. Still working his way towards this Manta style. And nope. What can they find up here? They're looking for RMN. They're gonna last a while. He's 100% dead. Wait, Ravage. Boogie waiting for it. Now the Ravage coming in. 17-1 charges on Nemfi. He does manage to drop the other side. It's pretty much only on Boogie. He didn't have any way to bring the Wolves out of Invis, unfortunately. So no more targets, but now another stun coming in. Nemfi, phase boots in a second. Not going to be fast enough to avoid the Weaver, however. Now the Diffusal off cooldown. Trixie getting slowed up, getting chewed down. The Death Prophet just unable to commit into fights at all. Not even level 12 just yet. This Death Prophet pick has not really worked out, I think, for 5 anchors. But once again, it just feels like another game where they're getting outmaneuvered.
Yeah, they're just getting ran at. Penta is just, you know, just playing better.
Weaver gonna wait this out. A little bit low on life. Oliver taking some damage off the Maldic, but I think he's gonna be okay. Now DNZ jumps in.
Oh, that damage.
Arc still has the Aegis. Thompson. Oh, don't kill the Necro. Oh, someone else got the last. Wait, was there a Necro book in there? Did someone else get the last hit? Did it
Is he
despawn?
diving for it? No, he's not. Back it up. I mean,
I want this tier 3.
when they Howl and Arc Gemini's attacks with all the mana break bonuses, it's just so much damage.
Alright, Death Prophet coming back in. Who can they find? Trixie, no lasso available. They do get another burst strike at DNZ. Gonna put his life on the line for his Weaver. Like the play. Yep. Oh, they even got the sneaky ward up in here. Check this out. The Penta supports are so heads up with the opportunistic warding. Like, I think opportunistic warding is one of the biggest things about playing support, and they're doing it so well.
It's like a really good feeling as a support player to do that kind of stuff. I think one of the cooler wards I've seen during like a recent, I don't know, match I watch is that there's a team fight. This is the exact scenario. Look at this tower. Mid tier 2 is still up. Yep. There's a fight like just around this side of the map, and I think Kuro just dropped the ward right here.
Yeah.
It gave them vision because it was a nighttime fight, and then that ward stayed up for the next 6 minutes. Anyways,
Trixie can jump. They're near the shrine, but the paralyzing cast is bouncing around a little bit. They will split up.
Oh god.
Sand King about to be brought down to get the lasso over onto the Titan. He doesn't actually have Ravage available right now. And Oliver's just running circles around this fight, trying to find Thompson, and now get the ward trap on top of him. Nemfi doing some decent work with the Omni Slash, but it's just the 2 supports down so far. Now Tide will be able to tap the shrine, throws out the Anchor Smash. Very difficult to do damage to him, but Oliver is outside of his wolf form, just trying to fight around the mass serpent wards, and looks like that's actually going to be enough to deter the 5 Anchors' aggression. This is all without Arc. He's just completely pushing out bottom lane.
Yep. To be fair though, there was no Ravage in that fight too, so it wasn't like Penta was at the full power. I mean, I thought Lycan was good against Witch Doctor. At the same time, Witch Doctor's cast just made his entire army just stand in the actual fight. So,
yep. Yeah, that stun duration is sick. Witch Doctor 4 points up in the Maledict as well. I mean, I don't know how hugely impactful that's going to be. Also, say goodbye to Peksu. We hardly knew ye. Arc just going to come in and drive by.
There's really nothing that the Witch Doctor can do in this team fight. Surviving wise, like he can't even get a Ghost Scepter this game, right? There's
like Necro Purge. Yeah, Necro Purge. What's the Jug got? Does he have his Manta now? Yeah, he does. This, like, on the one hand, I don't think the Manta style is bad, but on the other, it just feels like it's It's like kind of a farming item, right? You sort of want to be using it to push out waves and stuff like that. It's not hugely impactful in the fights.
I think your bad feeling is mostly coming from the fact that... Oh, hold that thought. They're going to drag him in, but...
Is he going to ravage everyone? Is he even going to be able to get anything off here on the Witch Doctor? Alright,
I'll walk it off for now.
Well, they forced the exorcism. They could just reset.
Yeah, they will, I think.
Yeah, meanwhile, Mike is just taking top.
Yeah, with the zap.
They are running rings around them right now, and they're just going to commit in. Tidehunter does have the Ravage available. They're going to be focusing on the Night Stalker so far. Okay, Sia brought down the Omnislash, still at the ready. Oliver getting splat down pretty heavily. Ravage coming in. Nemphy not going to get stunned up, but there is a shackle for him. And look at all that minus armor. He just gets chewed up. The Weaver running through this fight, going into the backlines, looking after Thompson. No mana left, so not actually doing that much damage. That's going to be his saving grace in this fight, but the Exorcism now running out. The Jug dead and on the sidelines. 40 seconds. He's going to fight back in an Omnislash. Ooh, miss on the Burst Strike from DNZ. But it looks like there should just be a second lane of Rax cleaned up, and this could be 5 Anchor's departure from this tournament. And so, once again, running forward. Arc with the defusal off cooldown, but they're going to play the objective. Make sure to get the second lane of Rax. That drum charge popped. Who's actually got the drum? It's the Shadow Shaman with the drum. And away they go.
Clean fight. Didn't really overcommit. Drop down wards. Take Raxus. And before that team fight happened, you're talking about like the Manta style on Jug. To me, it's not really about any item that he picks up. It's just the fact that Jug doesn't come online now as a hero, right? Compared to the Weaver, who hit that sick timing like you mentioned, and of course Lycan with the Necro 3. I mean, Jug could go for a very rather suicidal build if he goes like Drums, Aquila, and Diffusal Blade. Suicidal in the sense that he literally does not scale from that point on. And that might have been the actual better build, simply so you could fight the enemy team, you know, with one of your own stronger timing as well. But I think again it just comes down to the fact that they've lost their lanes pretty hard, more than anything else.
Yeah. Once again, the rotations from the Penta supports just doing so much. Alright. Oh, tier 2 going to be taken out in just a second. RMN once again in a sneaky spot, trying to put down some observer wards. This one is going to get dealt with. There's already a sentry waiting inside of the base, and he's going to get straight up Omnislash. The hate on RMN is so real. DNZ is going to be able to jump in here. Thompson hopping the ultimate, but how long does he have left for life? Oliver's going to be able to turn around. Double kill for the Sand King, and now with only a couple alive, there is a buyback from the Night Stalker, but straight into a Burst Strike, and he's just dead again. Arc chasing through, looking at Nemphy. We'll be able to clean up the Healing Ward in just a second. As Nemphy trying to juke through the trees, the Centaur Conqueror gets the stun up onto Pexu. Nemphy, one more Burst Strike will probably be his undoing, but the GG has already been called, and with that, 5 Anchors will be taking their departure from this tournament as Nemphy gets blown up inside of his own fountain.
So, do you know if those wards that you place from the low ground to into the base, the one that RMM just did, right?